Okay, so let's go to the straight to the topic for today. Okay, I will be covered about my first topic is on group and teams. What is the meaning? What is the meaning, the function of the characteristic of group and teams? So we will discuss about this throughout this session. All right, so I think everybody quite familiar with these terminologies. So the first one is group. What is group? Group is considered as two or more people that interact with each other to accomplish a goal. So you may form a group of one group to achieve one goal, any goal. Okay, while team is a group who work intensively, right? A group that work intensively, which which each others, meaning between groups, with group and group to achieve a specific common goal. Okay, meaning to say that the team will be comprises of numbers of group. Numbers of group will uh, will will uh, will will establish one team, right? So normally what we do, what normally we say in group is teamwork. That is the spirit, yes, teamwork. But actually the team is a group who work intensively with each other, right? To achieve specific common goal. Meaning to say that the group is supposed to be sub of the team, right? In other words, all teams, right? All teams are group. All teams are groups. Meaning to say that teams we can consider as group, but not all group are teams. So this is the difference between group and team. Okay. And teams, however, right? However, the teams are difficult to create or difficult to form. Okay. So you need to take months or years to form good teams. Okay, right? Because why? Because it takes time to member to work together. Because it normally occur in a big uh, set of people, big group of people. So it will take some time for the members to work together. They need to know each other, right? They need to be close each other, right? Before they can work together. And also the team can improve organizational performance. Okay, team. This group, okay, because the team is considered as groups, right? This group of people and the team can help to improve organizational performance. Okay, unlike group, group only accomplish a goal. So it can be, a simple goal. So while team is more targeted to uh, uh, a goal that higher than normal goal, specific common goal, specific direction for set of people. Okay, this is uh, a group of people that can be categorized under team. Okay. All right. So this is some of the characteristic, right, on how group and team can gain competitiveness advantage. So when we form group or team, it can gain an advantage. right? The first one, what we can see is the group or team uh, uh, will have an opportunity, right? Advantage to produce more or better output than other workers that working separately. I think everybody agree about this one, right? And because why? Because in group or team, members can give feedback, right? In terms of anything that they can rectify in terms of error or giving you new ideas, right? Uh, if compare with someone who working alone, because nobody give second opinion, right? And for this set of competitive advantage on performance enhancement advantage, the manager, for example, in one organization, the manager should build group with members of complementary skill, right? So meaning to say that in a group or team member, in order to get performance enhancement for that organization, the manager should identify uh, uh, set a group of people or numbers of people to be included into the group or team with a set of skill with various skill, right? So these various skill will bring enhancement to perform to the performance of the organization. So this is what the performance enhancement is all about. Okay. The second one is in terms of competitive advantage. If we work in group and team, uh, is on the responsiveness to the customer. Okay, responsiveness to the customer, right? In terms of this one, if you normally uh, in terms of responsiveness to customer, it actually difficult to fulfill because every time customer will change, the feedback also will change, right? The expectation also change, right? It difficult to achieve. At the same time, that is based on what you try to fulfill the customer's expectation. But at the same time, you may also face some constraint to expedite whatever things that need to fulfill the customer request, right? In terms of the first one, in terms of safety issues, in terms of the regulation on that particular subject, and also in terms of cost, the constraint to fulfill. You need to fulfill both party. The first one is direct requirement from the customer, and the other one is uh, to fulfill in terms of standard, right? Safety issue, regulation, also the cost or budget that has been put on you by the organization. So what normally the organization do is they form what they call it cross-functional team, right? To overcome this, to settle this, to face this issue, right? Cross-functional team. Because this cross-functional team will provide the wide variety of skill needed to fulfill the customer's need. Okay, so meaning to say that you need to form a set of team or group, or in other words, if you are talking about organization, we can consider a team, a team with uh, the representative come from various department. The team consists of members of different department. You see the point, the last point there. Okay, so we need to say that with this set of members, so we will have many ideas to fulfill whatever customers feedback, and as well as the standard and regulation, and the company policy. Okay, right. The third one is increase innovation, yeah, the competitive advantage of team and group. Number three is innovation, right? So actually innovation, uh, again, individual rarely possess the wide variety of skill needed. So in innovation, what the statement say here, normally we will have set of innovation, individual innovation. So for the purpose of gaining the advantage of this teamwork, we need to share our idea to form the skill that need by the organization, right? So in terms of innovation, right? So the team member also uncover flaw and develop new ideas. When you have set of people sit down together, discuss about what they thought about of settling one problem, or to give or to enhance one a product, for example. So you will have a set of idea, so that you can somehow translate the idea to become innovative idea. Okay, so this is the role where the manager for the organization should give empowerment to this team to let them administer their group, so that the innovative idea can generate it. Okay, so in other words, is the manager should empower the team for full innovation process. So give them power to give idea and to run the process. What is the innovation being agreed upon during the team and the group to be run by themselves. Okay, this is the third one. And the fourth one is motivation, right? Normally, when we work in team, yeah, when we work in group or team, it will motivate us a lot, right? It will motivate us a lot in terms of, you know, you can see what is lack on you. You can see example from your friend on what it lack on you, right? And also it the situation when you work in group or team will also motivate you to work in uh, in very fun condition, right? So it's a very fun environment, right? So the team members see their contribution to the team. The team also provides social interaction. So meaning to say that you have you can interact each other, right? You can um, close each other, right? Share whatever uh, um, problem you have, you know, how to solve it. And it create motivation, right? And sometimes you experience this. Sometimes when your friend stuck with something, and you share your idea and you solve the problem, you feel so motivated because you be able to solve someone problem, because you have advantage, you have skill that can or you can share your knowledge to solve problem with people when you work in team or group. Okay, right. This is example of type of group and teams, right? The classification. We can split group and teams into two big types of group and teams. Right. The first one we call formal groups. Yeah? Normally, these normally been formed by organization. Yeah, the leader. Okay, they form a group of team or group or team in under the one organization. It can be cross-functional team. It can be top management team. It can come from cross-functional team from various departments. It may exist in term in the form of top management team. I think you can if you can imagine in your anybody who has experience working in which organization before this, you can imagine you have one top management team, right? And sometimes you work in cross-functional team with department, and also sometimes you have self-managed team, yeah? Right, in organization, cross-cultural team, the research and development team, okay, command group team, and also sometimes we have been given task force team for specific achievement, so they form task force, right? So the other class of group and team is called informal group, right? Okay, this is normally created by individual or by workers. Even though sometimes in organization you already have this team, but you still need to form your own team, right? Under informal group. For example, friendship group, right? Friendship group. But nowadays, we can see this kind of group in virtual. Long time ago, before the existence of this social media, the internet, and so on, we also have friendship group, right? And interest group. But this kind of group runs in different way, right? Because we have no platform to communicate. But nowadays, this team, both this formal group and informal group, nowadays using the virtual way to communicate. But this should fall under what they call it virtual team. The virtual team can be in formal group and also in informal group. This is my additional classification on both formal group and informal group. I think you have this informal group and formal group. Yeah? So we talk about this in a bit detail, right? Okay, so the formal group and team normally is, as I mentioned earlier, been created officially by the organization under specific manager, under the administrator of your organization. Okay, the purpose of they are creating this group and team is to try to achieve their target, their goal, the firm's goal, the organizational goal. Okay. The first team that been mentioned earlier in the chart is cross-functional team or group, right? These normally the team members that normally representing various department from your organization. Okay, this is called cross-functional because why? because in one organization, normally we have many departments, human resource department, the financial department, the technical department, the maintenance department, and many, right? That is called various departments. And all these department will send representative to be a group of cross-functional team or group. Okay, so this is what we call cross-functional group or team. Okay, the other one is called cross-cultural group or team, because they came from or they may come from various cultures. Okay, it not necessarily uh, in and all organization must have this cross cultural team, but some organization they may have this cross cultural team, right? Because why? Because they have business or branches in many country, right, across the globe, like Asian, East Asian, Middle East, Africa, America, United Kingdom, Australia, and so on. So they have various branches, and all the branches has employee from different cultures, right? So they may have these people representing their uh, um, their organization, their branches. So we put it under one group so that they can, share what is uh, the issue that may discuss in terms of the business, right? Based on the cross-cultural scenario. Okay, right. That is the cross-cultural group and team. And the next one is research and development teams. I think everybody knows about this one, right? Especially when you involve with any organization that produce a product. Yeah, okay, produce a product like the pharmaceutical company, right? They need to have this R&D team. Uh, the food company, right? Food company, they also need to have this R&D team, and also most of the organization that related to the product, fashion company also need normally has this R&D team, right? Uh, Actually, this start from the medium to uh, big size of company. Yeah? So this is the team where or a group of people will be given special tasks to test any new product created by the organization. Okay, so this is under the research and development team. Okay, this is also considered as formal group and team. Okay, I think this one is supposed to be on top. Top management team, right? Okay, the top management team is the team of leader in one organization or firm, right? This top management team will the objective of forming this team, right? The managerial team, sometimes they call it managerial team, right? Is was developed or is developed to guide or to lead you to what direction that has been made by them, right? They will discuss the direction, or maybe they have already have the direction of the company, and this top management will guide you, will lead you, right, to towards that direction, right? toward that the what they call it, the aim of the company, right? It is important to have diversity in it to avoid group thing, right? Okay, so it need to have top management also must have diversity, right? So that it may create innovative direction, innovative objective, right? Of the firm, right? So meaning to say that if you have top management, normally you will see the board director, okay, normally will come in many expertise, right? Engineering, accountant, uh, what else? Human resource, right? And many marketing people, right? So marketing top management or leader, okay? So they will lead you so that they have this set of cross-functional skill uh, inside the top management team. I think the best one for top management team to have diversity and cross-functional area. Okay, next one is command group. Okay, the command group normally is a group or team where a member of the group will report to the same manager. So they will report with one manager. Command group. Normally this occur for small company, a small organization, right? So, or sub-organizations. Under big organization, it may be have one small group of people. So the members will report to the same manager, right? So probably under the cross-functional team members, under their specific department, right? They may have the command group or command team, group of people. Okay. And the next one is what we call task force. Okay, task force is special. Normally, we will give you special tasks, and this group of people will be created to meet a given objective or specific objective. For example, standing committees, yeah, are a permanent task force. Okay, permanent task force, standing committees. Normally, standing committee, permanent task force. Sometimes the task force also not permanent, right? For example, when the task has been completed, the committee will be uh, stopped or temporarily stopped, right? For the next round of KPI. For example, they have the task force being given set of objective or set of KPI to be achieved for this year. After the KPI been achieved, they will review what is the next KPI, and the task force will start again for the next round of year. But the member of the task force will be not necessarily the same members of the previous task force. Okay. Okay, and the next one is self-managed team. Okay, self-managed team is a group of people where been given been given or empowered to complete some given work. They've been given a task and trust, yeah? A task and trust, meaning to run their own team. So meaning to say, the manager will, the members will decide uh, uh, how to conduct the work or how to complete the task, right? While the manager will assist or will coach how them how what is the direction after once while they are conducting the task. I mean, the way of conducting the task, they will give the team to conduct, right? The manager just to make sure that the direction of how the task being conducted is to follow the rules and regulation set by the firm. So this is self-managed team, right? Okay, this is some of the keys how to effectively self-manage team. Okay, for self-managed work teams. So this is for the last one here. Additional information. Okay, the first one is what we need to do is to give them enough responsibility, roles as responsibility, and also the important thing is the autonomy to be self-managing. Give them all, empower them to run their tasks. Okay. The second one is the team task should be complex enough to include many different steps. Yeah, the team task should be complex enough to include many different steps. Right? Meaning to say that uh, uh, the task that been given to them is not supposed to be the easiest one. I mean, it is supposed to be run by a team members. Should be complex enough to include many different steps, right? So this is the characteristic. Okay, so that this can be run effectively by self-managed team. The third one is select member carefully, right? We need to identify who is the member, who is the person who that is suitable to be included into the self-managed team, right? For example, one person, right, that may have a skill that may be required for the task, right? And also the spirit into enthusiasm yeah? on conducting the the task, and also diversity, yeah, diversity, right? Diversity in terms of idea, diversity in terms of conducting the task, right? Diversity into communication and so on. So this is the uh, this characteristic of members or person that you may look to be included in self-managed team. And the manager, as I mentioned earlier, the manager should guide and coach. Yeah, guide and coach. For example, if you give them power to run their tasks, you should not only supervise, you should guide and coach. Yeah? Guide and coach. Give them direction, right? And also guide them how to do. Okay. So this is one way to get effective self-managed team, right? And the next one, determine training needs. Identify what is the training required by the members in this group so that we can uh, uh, we can provide the training to anybody who to wish to sharpen their skill, especially the group members from this kind of team or self-managed team members, right? Team may have trouble with performance review of members. Okay, so in terms of this, team may have trouble with the performance reviews of members. In terms of reviewing the performance, the self-managed work team members may have some trouble um, because why? Because the performance of each of for each individual team members cannot clearly be assessed, right? Because it being self-managed by the team members, right? So we cannot really cannot clearly be seen. Uh, in other words, we can review, but a bit difficult, okay, in terms of review the performance of each members. Okay. Okay. Right. Any questions so far before we go to the next one, informal group and team? This one is for formal. Some of the group or team under the formal group classification. Any question, guys? We have 48 participants here. So probably you want to ask something. Do you have any experience work in teams in formal organization? I think everybody has, yes, right? Especially anyone who has experience working with organization or works experience before. So you should experience this because you are under a formal organization. Anyone you want to share, for example, what actually you may share about your organization before? Anyone? No.
Yes,
yes.
I work with a structure team. We are considered between structure and draft and manager.
Okay, sorry, Ramzi. Before that, where are you from? Where are you now?
I'm from Palestine. I'm now in the United Arab Emirates.
You are now residing. Where are you residing now?
In Dubai.
In Dubai. You are now in Dubai.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have? I think you have experience working in organization. What do you want to say?
I would like to say I worked like 10 years with structure department in consultants firms. Okay. Yeah, we usually work with teams organized by managers of construction team and engineers and draft engineers, draft drawers.
Okay.
There's like teams we have. Okay. Each engineers and draft considered as a small team and take projects and it's possible to achieve the projects.
Okay, but what do you mean by small team for drafting management?
Small team means like we are like 5 engineer structure with different experience and like 10 drafting. Each engineer have 2 draft with them and the project to finish it.
Okay.
This is us.
Okay. Okay. What? Okay. What can you?
Force.
Okay. Oh. Okay. You are classify your team as a task force team.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm about to ask you. Actually, based on your explanation, what is classification of your team should fall under which one?
It can be more than one task force and cross-functional because there is engineers and drafts in same team. It can be also considered as self-management because I am responsible for everything, almost everything in the projects, and my manager only coach and guide if there is something.
Okay. Probably you have mixed style of group and team in your organization during that time.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you still working with this company now?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I think that is one example of one of your friend work under organization, right? So any other sharing opinion on what your experience working in any organization based on your past organization or now your current experience in terms of formal group team? No? Okay. Can we proceed to the next one? Okay. Right. So that was about the...
Sorry, Doctor. There is a question in the chat box.
Chat box. Doctor, what is your opinion for multi-role job position? Multi-role job, because it should one person, one position only at one time. So what do you mean by multi-role job? Can you can you elaborate about your?
Most of the workers in the management team are working in the construction site, and also uh, they also taken, for example, scaffolding competency. Therefore, they appointed also the same guy as the competent person for the scaffold in the organization.
Okay, okay. Based on the question, I think what I can answer based on my experience. Based on this question, I answer the question directly to the question, because it looked like the job given to this guy is based on his qualification and his expertise, right? That is why I don't think if we look at the scope of work, it's still under the scaffolding related work, right? Am I right?
Yes, doctor, but um, maybe at the certain time, the documentation for the scaffold need to be updated regularly.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that is still under the specific role of job, right? Because why? In one team of, for example, in one organization, for example, in construction, this is related to construction management, right? So it's not many people that has qualification on managing the scaffold properly, right? Because when we talk about scaffold, the scaffold is a temporary structure, and many of the contractor or workers, contractors, for example, they will tend to be, take this scaffold management not very seriously, in other way, right? So that's why we need to have someone who should have sufficient knowledge and competency to look after the scaffold, because the scaffold, even though it's temporary structure, but it need to be designed as good as possible, because it will be used to carry load of workers and material and so on. That's why it will be also related to the safety and health of the project and also the workers. That's why for me, this is not a very general task. So it should be given to someone who has certified knowledge and also capable to do this job. I think when come to the specific job like this, I think it should be given to one person who has this kind of job. Normally, for big company, big company, this kind of job, will be conducted by a group of people, because big site, big project site. So a group of people that have sufficient competencies level, or certified scaffold inspection to conduct the job. This person will take responsibility, right? From observing, designing, to make sure that all the installation or dismantle of the work, whatever requirement, rules and regulation with regards to the scaffolding to be followed, right? So from installation, the, usage, and also dismantle. So including also the documentation. So big organization normally will have set of group of people of doing this, and these men will be the group leader. So normally it will not more than one group of small group of the not more than 3 or 4 people, because the scope job scope of this scaffold is not as until you help them to install the scaffold, just monitoring how the contractor installing the scaffold. This is based my experience. And what you uh, uh, when you when come to the documentation also, I think they need to involve with this documentation as well, so that the what is it, the information that they have on site is also being properly documented in the record. So this is based my experience. However, if this happen to to a small project for example, but still need to make sure that follow any rule regulation in terms of putting the scaffold and so on. Of course, you must, but this normally being conducted by one person, right? Because the proportion of engaging this kind of people, you need to put some allocation, right? Because you need to engage someone who's certified in terms of monitoring this scaffold work. So not normal people can do this job, because this is considered as critical under safety and health requirement in construction. So I'm not sure whether I'm answering your question, but of course I think this under scope of job of this scaffold, I think not many people will involve, because the scope of job of this scaffold, I mean the responsible is higher than the scope of job given to this group of people, right? So normally the group is not as big as other group of work conducted on site. This is based on my personal experience. Am I answering your question, Mak
Yes,
Syed?
Doctor.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Right. So any other question? Right. Can we go straight to the next one? All right. The next one is informal group and teams. Right. This has been brief earlier. This group of people, normally this group or team normally been created by the workers. So when we talk about we are discussing about organization. Yeah? So in organization, we have formal one, as what we discussed earlier, and informal group of team. So normally this informal group of team is based on two type of classification of group or team. Yeah, the first one is called friendship group. Okay, the friendship group is normally is the group that been formed by the staff or employee. Uh, uh, Normally they will use this kind of group is just to have the social interaction between them. Yeah, social interaction like friendship, like friendship, yeah, human interaction, social support, and the activities that normally occurs during this friendship group is normally after work activities like what is it? Go for lunch, go for dinner, right? Just for friendship. right? So play sport, play specific sport that they both or this group of people most likely to play, right? So just to enjoy the friendship. This is a friendship group, but they are still under the same organization. So I think you have found this kind of friendship or group in your organization. After you will always see these kind of people together in many occasions, even though after working hours. Because they have friendship group, right? And the other one is called interest group, right? Interest group is based on your interest, right? Based on your interest. Not sometime people who under friendship group may not have similar interest, task or activity to be work together, right? Okay, so this one is where the staff or the workers try to look into a common goal, right? Based on their membership in organization. So normally, this one is, for example, what I can give you this interest group, like you are representing sport for your uh, sport for your department, right? You are representing the sport for you are representing for a tournament, tournament in for your department, right? This is called interest group. I mean, normally people who involved in this group is people that has interest in sport or in one particular sport. For example, play badminton. So not everybody interested to play badminton, right? Representing the department. So they will look into something like, it's the same interest. So some people might love to play bowling rather than badminton. So that's one. And another one is in term of their expertise, interest group. Like if one organization, they have interest group in term of expertise. Uh, I'll give example. For example, they may have their group or team in term of the secretary, for example. They will form their own secretary group in your organization. They will discuss about their interest in, managing the organization in their career, secretary. Probably you may have other like um, uh, in organization. Can you give an example in one organization that have interest group other than in your expertise, for example, like um, probably you have uh, what is it? What do I can swimming? Yeah, swimming club, or community, community or environmental community inside your department. Yeah, so you form your own interest on protecting the use of or the environment around your organization, for example. So not many people interest to join this, of course. So you will find anyone who has a same interest, right? To look after your organization. So this is called interest group, right? So workers seek achievement common goal based on membership in the organization, right? So of course, because it's still under organization, the manager should observe interest group to learn what employees see as important, right? They cannot simply whatever they want, but they need to follow rule and regulation of the company, set by the company. Okay, this is two informal groups that normally can be found in any organization. Yeah. You may have your own friendship group, interest group somewhere else outside your organization. That is different. So this one is, we are talking about in your organization. You may have formal and informal, right? Sometimes you will create one specific informal group to discuss about your career, right? For example, you are talking, you set interest group within your level of uh, employee. For example, you are working under not the top management, you are the middle management or supportive management, because we have three ranks: the top management, middle management, and supportive management. Probably most of the organization, they may have, especially when we have WhatsApp group, Telegram group, and whatsoever. Now we will have our own secret interest group under each specific group. So they will discuss about same interest, discuss about maybe some gossiping about the top management, the middle management group, right? Because experience of having bad experience with or having good experience with someone else, you may share in that group. You don't want the other group to know, the middle group or top management to know. You want to discuss within your interest group, which is the supporting group. I think everybody has your own informal group in your organization. Yeah, so I believe this happen. Okay, in organization it may have top management. They will have their own informal group to discuss issues, informal issues, right? So mid as a managerial team also will have. I think the lowest the group will be, the bigger the group and teams you will see, right? Based on interest. Okay, because numbers of workers and staff greater if we go downstream. Okay, so this is what we call informal group and team, right? Anyone here don't have any informal group and team? I have many, yeah, to confess. Yeah, so I have many groups and team that under this interest group, right? And as well as friendship group. Okay, right. Sometimes been created by somebody else, your friend been invited, so you will be a member of that group. Okay, especially during this social media uh, uh, era. Okay, right. So how to make the group dynamic? Group dynamic. Okay. Okay. The dynamic of the group, the dynamic effect how a group of team function. So meaning to say that how the group move, progress. It will depend on several aspects. The first one depend on the group size. Okay. Okay. Group size affect how a group perform. Normally, the group size. I mean the efficient group size, right? Based on the theory, is between 2 to 9 members, right? Because why? Because they say that the small group members will have good relationship, interact better, right? And tend to be more motivated because you feel very close, right? And the large group, right? Right? Use large group when more resource are need, right? So, for example, it not necessary you need to form in between 2 to 9, but you can form large group form one group with large group members if you need more resource. Like for example, you want to carry out heavy work, okay, right? Division of labor is possible with large group. Yeah? So you need to carry out big tasks. So you need large number of members, big size of members, right? So for one group. Okay, so this will depend on what activity you want to proceed, you want to conduct. Okay. Uh, I remember one who is the CEO of Amazon, Jeff. I think the name with the Jeff. I can't remember his full name. I read somewhere. He said the good numbers of, this is based on his experience. The good numbers of members in a group, efficient one, is the numbers according to slice of two pizza, slices of two pizza. So one pizza can be sliced effectively into 8 numbers. Right, one pizza you can slice to be 8 slices, right? So two pizza is 16. So that is the number of effective numbers, the maximum numbers for one group. That is based on his opinion, or personal opinion, based on his uh, experience. So he said he will always uh, divide group of people to do job of not more than 16 numbers. Okay, so this is based on Amazon CEO or the founder of Amazon. You know Amazon, the famous online marketing company. All right, so another one is the dynamic of the group, right? Will also influence or factor or affected by group tasks, right? Group tasks impact how a group interact. Okay, right. The tasks in the interdependent show how works of one member impact another. Right. So when you've been given a task, right? If uh, the members of the group or team work collaboratively, right? I mean, in terms of the efficiency of working in team, right? In tasks given to them, it will make the group become dynamic. Okay? So because why? Because the member work closely, work together, right? So it will make. That's why some group, right? If the good example for or the group that can be good example for good example. I'm sorry, to be chosen as example is a group that has close or collaborative, has collaborative team members, has spirit, collaborative team spirit members. So they will bring this group, right, target to become superior, right? So because they work together, they know each other, they can perform the task very well together. So this can make the group very dynamic. They can achieve whatever target they have, right? So this is what the group task is all about, right? Dynamic that affect the group. Yeah? Okay, right. when we talk about the task interdependency here, right? As the interdependence rises, member work closer. So how the interdependence or interdependency look like? Yeah. So what task interdependency types look like? Yeah. The first one is what they call it pool task interdependence. Okay. This is where member will make separate or independent contribution to group. So meaning to say that uh, every group, every group they have member, right? They have sub or subgroup. Under subgroup they have member. They have separate or interdependent contribution to the group. Everybody has their special task been given by the group, so that each of the tasks will do their own specific aim task to contribute to the achievement of the group. And the sum of this achievement will be the achievement of the group target. Right? The group performance is the sum of member contribution. So each of them give their contribution to become the achievement. And the other one is called sequential task interdependence. Sequential. Sequential is based on the word sequence. The sequence, right? You need to follow the sequence. After this, this. After this. Okay. Members perform tasks in sequential order, right? So hard to determine individual performance since one member depend on another. So this one you can assess individual performance because the pool tasks depend on individual, right? You can see who is given the best performance, moderate, and lowest performance. But this one you cannot clearly see, hard to determine. You can find, but you need to investigate. This one hard to determine. Okay, the next one is reciprocal task interdependence. Okay, reciprocal task interdependence is where each member interdependence, right? Do their work interdependent, or a member is dependent on work by others. So you need to get information from department and from this department as well. And this department also need from other department, right? They need to get information so that they can achieve the objective of that organization. This is called reciprocal task interdependence. Okay, where the members share information and work closely together. This is, I think, in many organization, especially like one development. For example, for example, in one development for one project, you may have many department, design department, right? Like your friends say that they have draft department, design department under, probably they have sub under design department, and also from geotechnical department, from the engineering department, right? From the financial department, they need to liaise from one to another to get information so that they can complete the project for development. Okay, this is called reciprocal task interdependence type of group dynamic. Okay, okay, this is how the group tasks of these three group tasks look like. Okay, so this one, the pool task interdependence look like. Okay. Member do separate work and report to group performance leader. And this one is sequence task interdependence, right? This look like or suitable to be related to the manufacturing type of task. In for example, in the factory, right? after the first assembly unit started, they finished, and then they pass to the next unit, right? This unit cannot start before this unit completed, right? Similarly with this one, and so on. And if any of these member not in this group of members not well performed, we need to investigate from where the problem occur. So we cannot pinpoint, because we it need to. That's why they said hard to determine the individual performance. But you can investigate. You go backward and see where the problem started, right? So once one, but the disadvantage about this style of group, one section did or do any slack, yeah? Do any error, so the other section cannot proceed, or cannot progress their work. So you need to wait until every stage completed before you can produce the product. Okay. And this is the interdependency type of product, or reciprocal task. Okay, so I think this one been adopted in many businesses, where each department been created to perform such tasks to provide a result, so that it can be used by other department, and so on. Okay, to in order to achieve one goal, right? So this one is what we call reciprocal task interdependence. Okay, right? Anything to ask? Anything to say? Right? Okay, next is group roles, right? So this is still under the dynamic group dynamic, yeah? Because you need to put group roles so that it become dynamic, right? So role set of behavior a group member is expected to perform because of their position in the group. So you put roles, you give them roles, right? For example, in cross-function team, member perform roles in their specialty. Okay, when we talk about cross-function or cross-functional team, so normally in good size of organization, they may have the department in terms of the specialty looking into the managing the human resource. Right? This is based on their specialty. That's why the employee or the officer inside this department, I mean the head department, he must have specific expertise, must graduate from that related discipline, okay, so that he can look into the process. Okay, and the other is engineering. Probably the engineering leads by engineer, not necessarily civil. Probably they can split into two: civil and structure, mechanical and electrical, because this is the common way how we manage the project on site. So this cross-functional team will look member, or will put members in based on their specialties. If you are graduating under civil and structural, then you will be design or designated or be put under the civil and structural. And the other one, if your friend mechanical and electrical, they will put under their expertise. And normally we will have one manager under the engineering department, so that they can select any senior staff from any of these group of people to lead the team. Okay. right? So the other one is manager need to clearly describe expected role to group members when they are assigned to the group. They must know their role, right? What is their role in order to achieve the expected goal of the organization. All right. Role making occur as workers take on more roles as group members, right? So when you have, for example, when I talk about the engineering department, so it could be selected from any of these classification of group of engineer, but under the the head department, you may have another set of role to be elected, like the subdivision, civil and structural division, led by someone else. The head of division will responsible to the head department, for example, and MNE have their own division. The head the role of this head is responsible also to the head department. So this is role making when the more role as group member. Take role making occur as workers take on more roles as group members. Okay, or on specific job, right? On specific job given to each member also is a role making process. Okay, for the self-managed team, may assign the roles to members themselves. So for any self-member team, they will have their autonomy to give roles to any members in the group, because it is a self-managed team, right? So it could be based on their expertise. Yeah? Right. This is the flow or stages on how the development of the group been conducted, right? The first one is we have intention to form a group, right? Then we need to form a group. Okay, so once we have intention, right, we start to form the group. How to form? We get to know each other. We let the potential members to know we are about to form a group, right? If we have sufficient number of members or potential member to form a group, then we can start forming a group. Okay, this is based on what actually your aims or your goal to form the group. Okay, so based on the common group, based on the common goal. Okay, the group is formed based on the common goal, the same interest. Okay, the second one, after you have decided to form a group and you have a group, and it is what they call it the stage of storming. Okay, and you will face some situation where member will disagree on direction and also the leadership. So you discuss about this one, right? This is where you call it storming, right? We need to normally when we form the start forming the group, the people who come with the idea normally will be the what they call it, the temporary owner or manager of the group, right? So this manager need to be sure that the conflict stays and be sure about the conflict and stay focused, right? So to look at the direction and the leadership. So you need to form, you need to have some storming. Yeah? Storming before you come to the next stage is called norming, right? Norming is before in storming, in the stage of storming, the group is not yet stable. because we don't have a proper structure of the group, because keep have we keep discussion. We need to find the mutual understanding between members. So they may you may face some disagree on direction, as what we mentioned earlier, or some disagree on leadership uh, 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 way of the group. And when the group become stable or mature, right? So you will have very good close relationship, right? Close relationship, close ties, consensus, right? Begin to develop between members, right? The consensus begin to develop between members. So you will see, I think the process, I think you can imagine how the process of forming the group look like, or the group development look like. Okay, so most of the group that has been established long time ago, you will see the stages how the group become established. Okay, so this is the norming. When you come to the norming stage, you will see that the group now can properly discuss between the members. The group member can properly discuss between them, okay? Because they have close ties, consensus in terms of resolving any issues, okay? And the next one is performing, right? After you have good or norming, you have reached the norming stage, then the performing stage, group does its real works. So you can start conduct activities in good manners, right? So otherwise, in the beginning, I think when we want to start the activities, when we first starting the group, I think a bit difficult because the numbers is not sufficient, the interaction is not good, very good, right? Because we not really knows each other, for example, or we may know each other long time ago, but after a while, because we have not seen for such a long time, we need to create the relationship again, right? So after the norming of the group become stable, so we can perform a good job, right? Performing well, and after some time, the group need to be dismissed. Yeah, right. For example, when you have temporary task force, right, for some specific project, for example, right? So we need to stop somewhere. This is called under adjourning, yeah? Adjourning stage. Okay, this is for if anything for the purpose of temporary to to stop. Okay, or the task have been completed. Yeah? So we need to stop. Yeah? This is called adjourning stage. Note that this step take time. So this step takes some time to conduct, right? So good and permanent group, for example, instead of this task force, temporary task force, permanent task force or permanent group or permanent team, right? So when they want to come to perform these all the stages, so it will take more than years to become good group or good team development, right? So for example, good company, big company, established, that what they call established group, established team, right? They need they may follow, or they face various stages of group development before they become established. So this is what they call it, group development. So we can say that the the flow of the stages of group development is something like this one, right? So you need to start from forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Okay, this is the stage of group development. Right, what is the group norms? We mentioned about group norms, right? The group norm is actually uh, uh, the what they call it, the rules, right? Or the rules of behavior, the regulation that been shared together in one organization. So this is the group norms. Okay, so you must follow. Normally, when we join one group, one organization, we should follow what is the group norms or the organization norm, because the organization is considered as a group of people. Group norms, share rules that member follow. Group may set working hours, behavior rules, etc. Right. Another one is conformity and deviance. Yeah, conformity and deviance. Okay. So when we need to have the group in dynamic, the member conform to the norms that has been set earlier, right? Right. So that they can get a reward. A reward in terms of tangible or intangible reward, right? Right. So, tangible, for example, you may get bonus, right? For example, or prize given to you as a reward. Intangible, like you're being given a praise, right? A praise, you've been mentioned somewhere, or you're being thanked by your top management, by being kind, all right, but or your contribution. So in many ways, right? So that is intangible, right? Obtain rewards, imitate respected members, and because they feel the behavior is right. So you may also have a tendency uh, of of having someone to become your example in your organization, right? So this is based on the norms on one organization. So you have group of people, so you will try to imitate what is the best practice being conducted by someone else. So otherwise, you will not learn. So this is how members try to confirm the norms. What has been practiced in on one group of people, one organization. So this is one way. Another way, uh, when you see someone in the organization deviates, right? This is based on, this one is conformity. So the other one deviates. Other member will try to make them conform, right? Or you to correct them. So someone make different things than what been practicing in that particular group. So you will try to reverse so that the direction back to normal, to confirm, make them confirm, or expel the member, or change the group norms to accommodate them, right? So some in other way is the member we try to change the member to become back to the direction, right? To correct back what has been deviated, and maybe we try uh, to let them go, not to become our member anymore, right? This is for to make sure that there is no deviation in our organization, and also in the extreme level, not extreme, to the highest level where you try to change the group norm just to accommodate the deviation. So sometimes the deviation is towards the positive way. So why not we change our we normally practice to follow what deviation been that be occur in our group, so that we are become more dynamic than following the norm in the practice. Can you imagine what I try to say? So you try to do something else that normally not being conducted in your group, so that you may become more dynamic than what if you are not doing if you are following the norm, you try to do different thing. So this is what the word the sentence try to say. Okay, but in other words, the conformity and deviance actually must balance, right? Must balance. They must we must have conformity, and at some aspect to become dynamic, we must also have some deviance, right? So that it can balance, so that the organization may be the group or the team may achieve high performance achievement. Okay, because why? The last statement here say the deviance allow for new ideas in the group, because we try to think what now people always say is think out of the box. This is deviance. Yeah. So when people say things out of the box, that is meaning to say that they ask you to do something else, or what we call it deviance, which is not normal do, but for the purpose of progressing well, to perform well, different way, different to normal people conduct, right, to perform well. Okay, so this is conformity and deviance. Okay, if we look at the relationship between the low conformity in high deviation, if you look at the relationship between the performance, the level of performance, the group performance with the conformity and deviation. Okay, so we can try to uh, uh, explain in a graph like this one. So if you look at any group, if they have low conformity, right, with high deviation, right, meaning to say that in term of performance, if we translate in term of low conformity with high deviation, the performance of the group will become low, because there are so many deviation. You are not so high in terms of not following the rule and regulation. Too many deviation, too many restriction, right? And at the same time, you have low conformity, not um, um, not following. At the same time, you are you are not following the rule. At the same time, you are not confirm with what has been said by the not well confirmed. You are not really follow what has been said, and also you are also too many things to uh, to uh, to 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 propose. Yeah? Yeah, so you are not following the rules, and also you have too many things to propose that not um, uh, until not be able to justify which one is right. High deviation, too many deviation. Okay? And the other situation is where you have medium conformity, you follow, right? You follow the rules set by this, and also medium deviation. So this may tends to give you a high performance if compared with the previous one. But on the other hand, if you have high conformity with low deviation, no innovation, for example, no innovation, but you just follow whatever traditional way of conducting the process, traditional way. You don't want to have innovation, don't want to have new technology, for example, low deviation. So the performance of the group will become less because other groups have they have already started to deviate of using different new technology and so on. So you are still using the conventional technology and so on. So this is example of group performance in compare with the conformity and deviation. This is how the performance relationship look like if the conformity is low and high, right? So in other way, in other words, what we can say is we actually or actually need to have or preferably to have this kind of culture in your group. Medium conformity and medium deviation. Flexible. So you, in terms of the norm, you follow the norm, and the norm can be changed to suit the new direction. So this is where the direction that we set normally will always look into the good performance. So this is the best situation for one group, so that if they want to get a good performance, medium conformity and medium deviation. Right. So that was about the conformity and deviance. Yeah? Okay, next one is what we call it group cohesiveness. Yeah? Group cohesiveness. Right, group cohesiveness is the level of relationship, yeah, the level of sharing the task between the members, measure the loyalty to the group by its members. So you are loyal to the group and you conduct whatever activity together. So the level of cohesiveness fall under several class. Yeah? The first one, level of participation. They call it level of participation. Right. So level of participation is as cohesiveness rise, so will the participation. So you will look at level of participation, or what they call it, characteristic of cohesiveness. Uh, uh, when the cohesiveness rises, okay, so the participation will also rise. Okay, so we need to see that if you have close cohesiveness, yeah, within member, they are tend to create the participation of doing the same job. Okay, because they try to help each other. Yeah? The, this member will help this member, this member will help this member when they found that the other member have a problem to solve the task. Okay, the participation help to get member actively involved, but too much can waste time. Okay, so however, if you have this kind of level participation, even though you have good cohesiveness, If this has been practicing too much, too much, so it can waste your time because you are keep helping, members. You only focus on the achievement of members, not the organization as a whole. Okay, can you get what I mean? So you are focusing on specific members, your cohesiveness. For example, like if you have too good cohesiveness, for example, you may tend to have, for example, focusing not focusing to the organization no more, but you will tend to go more individual tasks, individual participative tasks. Okay, I'll give you one example. If you have too close cohesiveness, right, and you have attract good participation, so when you meet, right, you will waste time in terms of uh, solving your issue because you may you may include some other unrelevant task into your task. Okay, for example, you try to solve issue and you get all the participation involved in one group. uh, the meeting in your organization will not what they call it effectively being conducted. Because why? The meeting will start late. Because why? uh, you have good cohesiveness among you in the meeting. When someone or members that came late or come late into the meeting, you will not penalize them because they are you have your that is your best friend. That is your friend because the cohesiveness is there. And also the meeting also will tend to start late because of you start to you start the meeting late because of you start talking about different things first. Because for example, in the meeting, you say you start at 3 o'clock, everybody is there, probably one or two may come late, and you start talking about something else. You start talking about your previous activity, like you are watching football last night, or you're watching the any tournament or anything in your same interest. Then you talking and talking and talking, and it will drag for about half an hour before you can start because your cohesiveness too high. Your interest is similar is in many way, right? So this is not also good in terms of one group of people have this because it may waste time. You can discuss about the issue in your organization in 30 minutes to solve the problem. It may take 1 hour or 3 hours to solve because during the meeting the other issue, the personal issue will interfere because of the relationship is too close. Okay, this is the level of participation is all about. Okay, the next one is level of conformity. As conformity rises, does the cohesiveness, right? So this is cohesiveness rises, so will the participation. This one is the conformity rises, so does the cohesiveness. The conformity is the 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 level of uh, agree of something, or loyal to something. Okay, if you have this side of spirit, so the cohesiveness also rise because everybody is lo- is loyal to agree to loyal to something that the other agree, lawyer. Okay.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
Can we take a break, sir?
What time is it now?
Now it's 4.
So how about others? What do you think?
Yes, sir, we should take a break, sir.
Sorry? Agree to take break? I give you 5 minutes. Can we have 5 minute 5 minute breaks? Is 5 minutes okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay, so I give you 5 minutes. 5 minute breaks. Okay, so that was about level of participation. Okay, the next one is level of conformity, right? Conformity, as conformity rises, so does cohesiveness, right? With too much conformity, performance can also suffer. Because why? Because everybody tend to have follow whatever way that has been established long time ago. There's no innovation, no creativity, no suggestion has been put in place so that the performance can be increased. So this is the second level. The third level is level of group goal accomplishment, right? Where this level, where as the cohesiveness rises, the emphasis on group accomplishment will also rise. Okay, so meaning to say that when the members of the organization become closer, the emphasis on the group accomplishment also will also increases, right? So the high level of cohesiveness can cause the group to focus more on itself than the firm, right? So this is they also have some another disadvantage where the high too cohesiveness, right, of the members will can also cause the group to focus more uh, uh, on the group itself than the firm, because of this their cohesiveness inside the group. Okay, so each of these group cohesiveness level has their own advantage and disadvantage. So we need to look at how this cohesiveness should be managed, right? Should be managed. So the cohesiveness also need to be managed. We cannot let the cohesiveness to become uh, too cohesive until it may affect our organization direction. It become their own or the personal group uh, uh, may become more important than the direction of the company, right? So that is what is the group cohesiveness is all about, right? Right. Uh, the cohesiveness can be altered to change can be altered in the group level. So how we can change so that it can suit our level of cohesiveness that okay that can bring the expectation of the organization to achieve the aims, the aims of the organization, right? So group size, small group allow high cohesiveness. So low cohesiveness group with many members can benefit from splitting into two groups, right? So, for example, if you have the problem with the cohesiveness of the group, so you can split the group. Okay, you can split the group to try to change the level of cohesiveness from low to high by splitting it into a optimum level of numbers of the members. You split it into small numbers of group, a small group, small members in one group, right? So that cohesiveness become higher. And another the other one is manage diversity. Diverse group often come up with better solution. Okay, so you can also manage the diversity in terms of uh, putting many skill into one group, many knowledge, a person that have different knowledge, different perspective in term of the person that can give different perspective in different suggestion or different skill in solving or in participating in solving one issue. So you can diverse the group. Yeah, it can diverse the group with better solution from diversity. Okay, right. So the next one is group identity. When the cohesiveness is low, for example, encourage a group to adopt technique identity. Adopt a unique identity and engage in healthy competition with others. So this is what I can't remember. I read one achievement that has been made by can't remember one company where they have problem with this cohesiveness, right? A problem with the business. Yeah. But when they expect that they found that the problem come from the cohesiveness between workers. What they do is the owner of the company split the group into small group, right? Small group, and they ask the group to create specific name for their job, right? Uh, okay, I think that the story about one company that recycle the old bicycle, if not mistaken. So the group, everybody form a group, the workers, and they form the group based on their what they call it, their task on recycling the old bicycle. So they put unique name, identity. So apart from that, the owner also give reward to any of the group based on the group performance operating the task based on their performance to expedite their work. Yeah? So any group that perform well, good performance, the owner will give rewards in terms of bonus and so on, right? So this will create the group members in each of the group become cohesive, right, between the members, and it will also create healthy competition with group between groups. Yeah? Healthy competition between groups. Okay, in some extent. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is success, right? So success in terms of cohesiveness increase with success, right? So normally the good relationship between members, close relationship, the success organization will have good cohesiveness in between members. Yeah. Right. So this is what happen in any of good company, because they have good in terms of treating their employee, right? They will give reward. They will what is it they call it? Every year they will uh, uh, they will uh, what do you call uh, annual dinner. Yeah, annual dinner. They will sponsor annual dinner for their uh, uh, employee, for their staff. During that time, they will also give reward or award to anybody that already been identified perform well during that particular year. So this is what has been practiced by many of these group, business group outside there, where they will always organizing function to appreciate their outstanding achievement of their members. Okay, right? Okay. So one of the issue in group and teams is what they call it social loafing. Social loafing always occurs when uh, when you when your staff have very close spirit, very close cohesiveness, so close cohesiveness. So there will a tendency of the group to have this social loafing activity. You know, okay, talking about something else not related to a business, gossiping and so on. So this should be reduced. Okay, it will somehow take the organization time, wasting the time of the organization, right? So how to reduce the social loafing is to make individual contribution identifiable, right? First, you need the contribution identifiable. So you try to identify the contribution each of the members, right? So that they know that you are looking on each of the staff every time. So otherwise you cannot identify the contribution, individual contribution. So you are assessing each of them, right? You are monitoring them. So they will reduce automatically or indirectly, the social loafing will reduce. Yeah. And the next one is emphasize valuable individual contribution. Okay. This is about similar to the next one. Just to emphasize, the valuable contribution. You praise, you give award, rewards. So this will also lead to the reduction of social loafing between members. Okay. And the last one, keep group size at appropriate level. Try to find the optimum size of your organization or group or team so that there will be no social loafing occur during the task being conducted. Okay, this is the step to reduce social loafing. Okay, right. And how to manage the performance during the group is the first one is by motivating group to achieve the goal. Give them motivation. Yeah, members should benefit when group perform well. Reward can be monetary in other form. Motivate come in various way, in communication, in verbal, by praising, and also by reward, giving certificate, giving money, giving gifts, so that they can be motivate to increase the well perform to constantly perform well. Yeah, right. So this is the other one, reduce social loafing, right? So that we have discussed earlier, right? This one. This is also can increase performance. And the next one is help group manage conflict. Okay, all the group will have conflict. Managers should seek ways to direct it to the goals. So help the group. You as the manager to have your role and responsibility to help the group to settle any conflicts they may face, right? Because you have connecting, you are the platform connecting platform in between the supporting group, the unmanagerial group, non-managerial group, and then managerial group. Yeah, the non-managerial group and managerial group, you are the manager, become the platform to connecting the if any of the supporting group or the group that you have under you have conflict. So you will become the advisor, right? Okay, so I think we come to the end of the slide about the teams and group topic, right? So for today class, so before we end our class today, do you have anything to say to us about the topic?
Thank you, Doctor. If it's possible, Doctor, please share the QR code of attendance.
I will share the QR code again.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Why you are not scan earlier? You joined late.
Yes, Doctor, yes.
Okay, please next time please join at, before I deactivate the code.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Okay, right. So any question other than the code? I already shared the slide in the e-learning. You can get a copy of this slide in e-learning for your notes. All right. So anything to ask? Okay, you can see the effect. Sometime when I have class also, I try to relate with this topic. Yeah, so group and teams, right? So the number of groups. So this is this semester. This is the biggest numbers of student in one class. So 48 numbers. So you come in various diverse program. So the cohesiveness is not yet there, right? So the activity of class, I think, not very much interactive, right? So that is what we call is the one of the characteristic that may occur when we have members from various department, and the numbers of members also in one group also too big, right? So there will be, I mean, the level of interaction will become not very good, if not very effectively done. Yeah. So I think this can be maybe in next few weeks. I think this one you have reached the week 4. I think in the next weeks, in the future, the following weeks in the future. So I hope that the level of participation become more actively involved, because it compare with my other class. I think the interaction is very much active than Maybe the reason maybe because of you came from various programs, right? And also the cohesiveness is not really there, right? So it's not really motivate you to give your opinion. So I hope that in the next class, hopefully that you will give a lot of interaction during the class. I would like to see, you know, you interact with me, you interact with your friends to share your problem. Don't be afraid. Just tell us what you think about your own opinion so that we can deliberate, we can share together. Okay, guys. So I hope that you can get this copy of the notes in e-learning, right? So if there is no question, I would like to stop until here, and we'll see you next week. Next week we will have class because we will be having a public holiday on Tuesday for first Ramadan. We will have a public holiday first Ramadan in Johor. Right, so we will continue with our class on Wednesday, next Wednesday, for next topic, for new topic. Okay, thank you for your attention, class. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, doctor.